Alright everybody, today we're going to talk about some of these locations, and these are all in the state of Wyoming, so get your bags packed and get ready to travel to Wyoming. The first place we're going to is in Laramie, Wyoming. The place is called the Wyoming Territorial Prison. It was built in 1872. By 1903 the place was shut down for various reasons. 11 people escaped, there was a fire, and there's said to be a man by the name of Julius Greenwelch who passed away in the prison of a heart attack. And he is said to be a prankster. He's said to pull people's hair, he's said to touch them when they're walking down the prison cells. So if you ever go visit this place, just know that Julius will probably mess with your hair or touch you. Just so you know too, this place does have tours during the regular day, and they also have a paranormal tour during the October Halloween season. So if you ever get a chance, come out there, visit it. It's a really small prison, but it's a really cool place to go to. You always feel like somebody's watching you, so you never know. Go ahead and check it out. You might catch something. So the next place we're going to after Laramie is down to Cheyenne, Wyoming. So the first place we're going to see in Cheyenne, which is number 2 on our list, is the Tivoli Saloon, or also known as the Tivoli Building. Built in 1893 as a fine dining restaurant, drinking establishment, also dabbled in some adult activity. You can only imagine what kind of adult activity we're talking about there. They're said to be a ghost of a woman who's been seen at the location. It's wandering up and down the stairwells. All kinds of moans, groans, stuff like that. Also, people have taken pictures of the outside of the building, have tended to see in the windows, curtains pulled. It looks to be like a figure in the windows. That's some of the stuff that you see at the Tivoli Building in Cheyenne. So, if you ever get a chance, go visit that place. The next place we're going to visit is near the Tivoli Building, so if you go see this place, you can actually walk down the street and see the Tivoli Building. So the third place on our list is the Plains Hotel, which again I say was located downtown Cheyenne. The hotel was built in 1911. It is a old, really pretty hotel. Some famous people have been in that hotel. It's housed presidents, things of that nature. It's pretty cool. So if you get a chance there was a story of a husband and a wife who were honeymooning at the Plains Hotel. And one night the wife decided she was going to go to bed early, and her husband told her he was going to go to the bar to have a couple drinks before he went to bed. So husband goes down to the bar, wife goes to bed. She, about an hour later, says, I wonder where my husband is, let me go check. So she goes down to the bar, and what does she see? Her husband with a prostitute. In a fit of rage, she goes back upstairs to her room, grabs a gun, comes down, shoots her husband and the prostitute, turns a gun herself, and shoots herself. The woman, the prostitute, has been seen wandering the halls in a red dress. The wife has been heard making screams while she's at the hotel. There's also been rumors of a man who was seen on the 4th floor. He was supposedly a man who was pushed off the 4th floor window. So if I was in that hotel, I'd try to stay on the 4th floor where this man has been seen. Myself personally, I've seen, we were doing a panel upstairs in one of the rooms, and I had a flashlight, which with that flashlight, it was in the middle of the speech, and I was telling the folks that were there, I was like, hey, you know, it's not like a ghost will say, boo, I'm a ghost. And as soon as I said, boo, I'm a ghost, our flashlight just turned on. So I don't know about you, but that's kind of creepy. We also have seen stuff just fly off of chairs. Sitting at the hotel, we were doing another panel previous to that, and they were talking about filming and paranormal activity, that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, as I look over to the side, there are some papers on a chair. Nobody's near these papers, they just fly off the chair. Not just like slide off, they just kind of literally just fly off the chair. So this place is a really good place to go visit. If you're ever in downtown Cheyenne for Frontier Days, anything like that, go visit it, stay at the hotel. I know family members who've come to visit me who've stayed in this hotel, and had to change their rooms because they didn't know what was going on and they were kind of creeped out. So they got another room that night at the hotel. Just saying. Our fourth place that we're going to visit is someplace that's near and dear to my heart. It is one, I think personally, one of the scariest places in all of Cheyenne. It is the Atlas Theater. The Atlas Theater used to be a candy shop. It was a confectionery shop. It's been a nightclub. It's been a brothel. You name it. The old Atlas Theater has probably been that at some point in time. The Atlas Theater is a remarkable place. You never feel alone when you're there. Me personally, there's so many stories of folks who've died. There was a child who was outside of the theater and got hit by a car. He's said to haunt the place. There's a spirit of a woman who apparently was a prostitute. Excuse me, a woman of the night. They don't like being called prostitutes at the Atlas Theater. Just so you know, if you go visit, don't call them prostitutes. She has been seen in the windows of the theater. She's been known to roam the upper floors of the theater. She is a really pretty insane type of spirit that is always there, is always present. If you ever go upstairs, which the area is kind of condemned, so you might not be able to go up there. However, every once in a blue moon, you can probably finagle your way up there. The upstairs, we have done a panel upstairs, and we were talking about the woman in the room. And again, I had a flashlight, which, by the way, if you're a paranormal researcher out there, a really good trick, I learned it off another paranormal show a long time ago, is a flashlight trick. Find yourself a flashlight. Me, usually I use a little small red flashlight that I have, and you turn the flashlight just to the point where it turns on, and then back off just a tiny bit. And you put that flashlight down where it's not going to be affected by movement or anything, and ask your questions just like you would do with a spirit box or anything like that. And I can tell you the results from that flashlight trick have worked a lot. And it usually responds really well to you if you are in the presence of a spirit. I don't know how they know how to use it, but it's a really good tool to use. Well, anyway, back to what I was saying. The Atlas Theater we've had guests who have come to the theater, have sat for a show, and then after a show they said they love the theater, they love the play or whatever the musical we were doing, but they'll never come back to the theater. They've sat somewhere in the far back of the theater off to stage right, and have said that they've had their hair pulled. Some have said that they felt like somebody was sitting next to them when there was nobody sitting next to them. Other people have been in the theater when it's completely quiet, all the chairs are up after the end of a show, and somewhere in the theater a chair will just fall down. And you can hear it throughout the whole entire theater. There's rumors and things about the green room. The green room is said to be also haunted of a spirit who likes to go into the woman's dressing room. Just saying. And you always feel like there's something there. Down in the basement of the Atlas Theater, there's tunnels that used to go throughout the whole entire downtown. Those tunnels are there for, let's say, the fellas who used to go from one place to another. The Tivoli building being one of those places. They would go under tunnels underground so that they didn't get seen by the public. Because, hey, they were wealthy, they were married. They didn't want to be seen with, So those tunnels are there. There's still a tunnel back in the bottom of the Atlas Theater. Most of the tunnels in Cheyenne have been closed off. But that particular tunnel leads off to Nowheresville. Just somewhere out there. It's dusty, it's nasty, it's dark, and you always feel like something is watching you out of that tunnel. I've heard footsteps on the stage above us while we're down in the green room, and there's nobody upstairs. I've seen shadow figures. I've heard moans, groans, you name it. That theater probably has it. It is one of the creepiest, spookiest, most haunted places I think in all of Cheyenne. One of the most haunted, creepiest places that I've ever seen. You've probably never heard of. Come down to Cheyenne at some point in time, like I said before, if you're going to be in the neighborhood and you stay at the Plains Hotel, and then you go over to the Tivoli building, the Atlas Theater is not very far from those either. You can catch a show all during Frontier Days, and maybe you'll catch a couple of ghosts while you're here. The next place that we have, and I think this is our final place, is the Warren Nagel Mansion. Nagel Warren Mansion, let me say. The Nagel is, currently it's been closed down. The owner no longer has it. It used to be a bed and breakfast. It was built in 1888, and it was the former home to Wyoming's first governor. And if you've ever been to Wyoming, you know of this place, or if you're in the military, you've heard of this place. It's the place, not the person. The person's name is Francis E. Warren. He was the very first governor of Wyoming, and he owned the Nagel Mansion at one point in time. He's had past presidents that have visited him there. Roosevelt, a couple of others that, off the top of my head, I can't remember. But Taft, I think, was the other one. But this place has been rumored for years to have footsteps, voices, you name it. People have seen it in this hotel, or excuse me, this bed and breakfast. Unfortunately, now you can't go to it and visit because it's been closed down. Back to the Atlas Theater, you can't go on a tour there. They don't have tours. But again, the Nagel Mansion is a pretty cool place to visit. If you ever get a chance, come down. It's not within walking distance of the Plains Hotel, the Atlas, or the Tivoli building. However, it still is technically downtown, just a little ways out. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, these are the 5 places that you've never heard of that are probably the most haunted you'll ever see. A few of them you can go visit. Some of them you can just visit and see, catch a show, stay at a hotel, and have some fun. If you have any questions and comments, leave them down in the comments below. This is your man Marty, signing out for ParanormalTravelGuide.com.